Hello everybody and welcome back to Pravus Gaming and more City Skylines in New Pravsburg. Last video we got some metros set up, which we're going to find out if that works out really well for us or not. I'm actually not super convinced that this is a very efficient pattern, but I'm curious to see how well it works. So far we're already transporting like 300,600 people per week, which is pretty good, better than any other mass transit I've got. And what I'm really hoping is going to end up happening is we can solve a lot of our worker crisis over here, because we do not have nearly enough. And the problem here is really that we don't have enough uneducated workers, or even just regular educated. We have mostly well-educated and highly educated people. Turns out, if you get a really good fancy high school diploma or a college degree, you don't usually want to go and work in the dirty ore processing facilities. Not that surprising, I suppose. What we could try to do then, since I don't really have much in the way of demand, is I could actually try to mandate some changes to the office spaces over here in a few of these sectors by turning them into IT districts. The idea behind this for me is because it requires 50% less workers, that means they're going to have to lay off a bunch more people, which means they'll have to go and fill some other job, and even ones that are of a lower education than they might like otherwise. Normally, that sounds like a horrible thing to do, but since I'm really trying to fill this area out, that's what we're going to experiment with and see if it works. So we'll turn Washington Park into a proper IT district. We have office spaces elsewhere as well. Well, let's see. Old New Pravsburg would be one example. Sycamore Square. Do we have that district requirement here? We do not. We're going to fix that. There we go. This is going to turn into an IT district. The only one that's not, then, is Old New Pravsburg, which I guess we'll leave alone for the moment. That's going to delete some of our office spaces, and that should reset a lot of our industrial demand, and I'm hopeful that that is going to fill in some of our worker problems, at least until we can get some more residences in here, which right now we are definitely having some trouble with. We could take a look at happiness. So commercial happiness isn't doing that great. I wonder why. Well, let's see. Most of the city is quite happy. There's a couple of places here and there that aren't. Not operating. Well, why not? Oh, nope, there we go. Now it's operating normally. I'm not sure why commercially we're having a bit more trouble. It's over here where you can see that there's so much issues. We just can't get anybody moving over here. Now, maybe this influx of cars is a bunch of people moving into their new office jobs. Or into the new suburb. I don't know. It may fix itself eventually. I'm just hopeful that the IT specialization will force a lot of that to happen. And sure enough, we are seeing a lot of offices get demolished automatically, and they will gradually get replaced. And we do have some commercial demand going in. That's good. Most importantly, though, I'd like to see our residential demand start going up so that I can afford to get some more workers in the city. We actually should probably look at a few other things here as well. Besides just happiness, we could take a look at health. Healthcare availability is not the issue. The average health is not great, though. I wonder what's going on over here. Doesn't seem to be doing too well. I wonder if placing down another clinic over here would help, or maybe it's just unaffordable. That's something we could experiment a little bit with. Let's see. We have levels. As far as residential levels, that doesn't matter too much. Wind, I don't care about. Although, maybe I should have cared about this, because that would have helped determine where I'm going to be placing certain things like industry, so the pollution doesn't waft over the city. Oh, well, I think I got lucky there. Pollution is actually looking pretty good right now. What about noise pollution? Whoa, hello. Yeah, I have to wonder then if this is a big part of the problem. Maybe our noise pollution is so gosh dang high that people can't move into the city or aren't very interested. That really could be a big part of it. Now, suburbs out here are still nice and quiet, which is what you would expect. The Bengal Fields, though, I'm surprised it's this bad. It must be because of the farming community. Huh. Turns out that heavy machinery and those tractors cause a fair bit of noise pollution. They're a little bit loud. But over here you can see it's quite nice. So I don't know. I do think that placing these sound barriers was a very wise decision. We could even put some down over here, but since I don't have any housing nearby, I think that will be okay. All right, let's see. Fire safety seems okay. Crime seems more or less perfect, actually. Transport, 3,400 people per week on the metro, so it is doing its job. Population's looking pretty good. Land value. Well, along the waterfronts, it's where it's highest. That's sort of to be expected. We could try boosting land value by placing a few more parks. I wonder if that would do a lot for our RCI. I don't know. Well, in the meantime, it seems that commercial is where it is at right now, so we'll go ahead and zone a little bit more of that. One thing that we could do if we want to reduce noise pollution in the city, and this would be a rather drastic move, so I'm not sure how good of an idea it is. But what we could do, theoretically, is pass a policy in the city that only would allow for electric cars. Everyone living in the policy area must switch to an electric car if they own any cars. This would cost me a bit of money, but otherwise wouldn't be all that bad, and it would reduce the noise pollution quite a bit. We could also do a combustion engine ban. Only electrical cars are allowed in the affected area except for the residents, businesses, and city service vehicles. Please note this policy takes some time to have an effect. So that's to say that people who don't have electric cars will just avoid the area, which would affect our outsiders and stuff. You know, tourism probably, and that's not necessarily what's best. But electric cars, maybe, is a little pricey, but I am debating doing it. It would cost me money. Money per vehicle. Let's turn it on and see what happens. I'm going to have everyone switch over to an electric car. Everyone, switch to your electric vehicles. This may actually greatly change my power consumption. Well, it's going down a bit. Whoa, it is going down a bit. Whoa, hello. Okay, you can stop now. Oh dear. Turns out, that forcing everyone to have electric cars might have some, downsides. Maybe. Just maybe. Wonder if we can see the noise pollution going down immediately. It was like, what, at 45%? Whoa, look at that. Now it's down to 28%. I mean, it's not perfect. But that will help quite a bit, I think. No! The bird and bee haven's on fire! How could you do this to me? The birds and the bees are burning! Save them all! Jobs are still quite bad over here, I'm afraid. A lot of businesses that are shutting down because they simply can't find enough people that are willing to be employed here. I don't know, guys. Maybe this whole ore refinery thing wasn't a good idea. It doesn't seem like there's any chance in heck that I'm going to be able to fill this area out, which really disappoints me. But we seem to have grossly surpassed the need for any iron, which is interesting and unexpected. But I gotta work with what's really going on here, don't I? So do we go ahead and delete that? Do we say we don't want to have any ore specialization over here at all? More ground pollution, and electricity, just slightly better taxes. That's all we're getting out of it. By the way, my tax revenue has just plummeted since we forced the electric cars. Oh, I don't know, guys. I think we may just want to turn it off. Alright, it's no longer restricted just to the frickin' iron. You can do whatever the heck you want. Have fun, guys. Do something a little bit more ecologically efficient, I guess. It'll be fine. You know, one thing that does surprise me, by turning that off, am I mandated that we no longer have any ore for finding at all? It certainly seems like it's just deleting everything. Which doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. I'm just not forcing it to be a big specialization. Why can't we have some ore buildings if we wanted to? Couldn't tell you, man, but that does not seem to be allowed. Oh well. One thing that I did say that I wanted to do was set up a ferry system, right? So what we're going to do is go ahead and move these water pumps out of the way. Because I think that we need to set something like that up. Some ferries would be kind of fun. Actually start making use of some of the water that we have in this bay. I mean, if we're in a bay, then we might as well, right? So yeah, let's go ahead and run some electricity all the way over to here. Get some piping as well. Dink, dink, and dink. There we go. Okay. And now, let's see. What are these? Taxi depots. Right, I did have these over here, didn't I? Let's actually move these over here. Kind of like so. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of this road for the time being. And let's see what will be involved in getting a ferry depot. So I think having one right over here makes sense. We'll probably set one right up over here, and as I kind of expand into this area, it will surround it. And then maybe eventually we'll have one over here as well. I think that makes a certain level of sense. So if I want to have ferries... I think ships are correct. A ferry stop. Yes. So I could place one, like, right up here. It looks like. Is there a better way to do this? I think this is okay. Alright, we're going to set up one ferry stop right over there. And then we're going to set up a ferry stop. I'm going to actually move you out of the way. You're going to go over here now. There we go. and set up a new ferry stop right over here. Giving myself just enough space to actually start building some roads and have the avenue go around it, because I don't want to force all traffic to go through that area. Okay, so now I just need to get some roads. Okay, something like that might be okay, at least for the time being. I'm a little bit worried about having an intersection right here, especially next to a four-way intersection like that. But at the same time, this road should not be getting much traffic at all. So that might end up being okay. All right, so that's one ferry stop. Okay, that is a second one set up. Perfect. Now we just need to get some actual ferry depot so we can place these things somewhere. Maybe a little bit further down the river. Somewhere where I'm not expecting them to get a lot of traffic. That said, apparently it's incompatible with a key. Oh, that's just downright disappointing now, ain't it? Okay, well, I could set up way freaking down here, but that seems a little excessive now, don't it? Wait, no, I can do it over here, though. Huh. A little weird, but all right. We'll set up a ferry depot right like that. And then how do I set up a ferry pathway? Presumably I do this and go to... That's not it. Here. And then from... How do I select it? There we go. From here over to here. And then when I add a third one, I can change this path up a little bit. There we go. So does that work? We now have ferries? I think if I can get a road up here, then yeah, I think we kind of do. All right, so now we have to connect the depot to the ferry lines itself. So I think we just do this and just hook it up anywhere? Like this? Is that allowed? Does that do it? Maybe I have to have another one going back. Let's see. We could have one go from here over to there. Okay, is that good enough? Create a ferry, please. Explain to me exactly how this is a low-density commercial building. Do hotels, like, not count? The zoning for this is definitely low density, and yet that looks like a suspiciously high-density building to me. What do you know? I didn't know that about hotels, but that's interesting. How do I create one of those floating cafe things we had before? That's one. Fancy a coffee with a twist? Come to the floating cafe. It's just like a regular cafe, but it's floating on the water. That sounds absolutely like the sort of thing that our people would like. There we go. It's very inconvenient. You have to rent a boat, which costs like 40 bucks, and then go over here, which, by the way, the turbulence seems to be absolutely murdering everyone inside of here. I would not want to drink coffee on this pier. Not a chance. Look at that. Whoa. Maybe it's because I'm going too fast. Maybe it would look a little bit... Yeah, that still seems... That seems like it's rocking a lot, though. Well, whatever. I'm sure people will do it anyway. Still no ferries coming out of this. Either nobody needs a ferry, or I do not know what I'm doing. Maybe we need to go to the budget panel. Can we set, like, a number of ferries? Is that something we have to do? Let's see. No. It can support more ships and ferries with the bigger budget, but that shouldn't change anything. And right now we are spending a few $100s a week on this. Maybe I have, like, trash collectors in the way. No, it doesn't appear to be the case. Well, either I just have no idea how this works, or we really do not need it. Also, am I out of water? Ooh, I'm running out of water. What do you know? All right, well, we can fix that real quick. That's easy. Well, if the ferries aren't going to work for me, then I suppose what we could instead try to do is set up for, like, some cruise ships or something to arrive. Maybe that would be one way of trying to get some more tourism into this area. Let's see. Not a ferry depot. A harbor. There we go. Outside connections for passengers to the city by sea. And if we place it really close to Rowan's Path, where I have most of my tourism, that would probably make the most sense, right? So you know what I'm going to do then? Since we can't seem to get the ferries to work the way that I wanted them to, we'll go ahead and get rid of that. And instead, let's set up a harbor, maybe even two. Well, the key is somewhat in the way. Well, I take it back. Certain keys work. I think it's the curvature that doesn't allow for anything. We might be able to fix some of that, actually. I can just use the move tool. Yeah, just do something kind of like this. This is a little cheaty, but if it works, and I'm not going to complain. I want to have some cruise ships docking up, you know? Okay, there we go. We'll place one there. And that seems to be about all that we can realistically expect. Okay. But how do I hook this up to the water connection? Does it automatically connect? I think it might. So, really then, I guess, if I move you over here, that'd be a little bit better. We need to get the roads hooked up, and then in theory, ships can come in. Okay, there we go. We now have a harbor. Here's hoping we see some cruise ships at some point. They'll have to, you know, work their way through the sludge to get here, but I'm sure they won't mind. Hey, a cruise ship is docking up in New Pravsburg! Hi, guys! That's a beauty, isn't it? Oh, no! There's a second one on the way. Wait, no! This is bad! Oh, no! What have you done? You've killed everybody! Well, there's a lot of people coming out, but that did not seem to render the way I expected it to, not one little bit. Hi, tourists! Oh, that actually occurs to me. I should probably set up some taxi depots right here, shouldn't I? Heck freaking yes, I should. Yeah, wow, this just seems like a great idea, guys. Wow, yes, brilliant. I love it. I love what you guys are doing right now. Okay, well, the good news is we now have a load more tourists coming into the city. We are a travel hotspot, apparently. You know, one thing we could do that might actually help to emphasize that a little bit more? Setting up some sort of an international airport. Do we have access to that yet? Monorails and stuff is not quite what I'm looking for. Planes. No, we need 60,000 population until we can get an airport. All right, those are long-term goals. Well, then I guess while we have some residential and commercial demand, now is the perfect opportunity to continue expanding the city. And that's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, let's go ahead and create a new district. I don't think we need to include the ferry stop in this thing, so we're going to go ahead and pick up everything off in this direction. Oops, didn't mean to grab the highway. Oh, well, we'll come back to that in a little bit. Now, I don't necessarily want to expand the edge. I'm kind of okay with that being the leisure district that it is, and I'm not sure that I really want to expand it any further, so we'll kind of leave that alone for now, I think. The Myrtle District. Yeah, all right. I guess I can kind of work with that. Now, do we want to have another tourism specialization, or do we want this to be kind of normal? I think probably pretty much normal, and this time I'm not going to do any organic produce. I will make it self-sufficient because it's fun. And we will do some IT, just in case I do place some offices over here, because I want to make sure that we have enough people to go around to fill in all of the jobs. Okay, now for some zoning. Okay, there we go. Relatively simple, nice new little district that kind of continues on the city. What's this over here? Facility full. A cemetery has a limited capacity. Well, I knew that, but I wasn't aware that we were at that capacity. Where is it? Oh, hello. No more room in the cemetery. We could empty them to another facility. I think realistically, though, what we'll need to do is set up yet another cemetery, which I guess is easy enough to do. Where should we place said cemetery? We can place one over here, I guess. Yes, we'll place one over there. And you know what? In order to improve our health, we could also build up a sauna. Healthcare facility where people come to bathe in hot, steamy rooms. I'm not sure how this counts as health exactly, but I dig it anyway. Let's place a sauna. Maybe a couple of them, even. We'll place one right over here. And we'll definitely want to have a sauna in Washington Park, of course. That just goes without saying. One right here as well. There we go. All right, guys, get your sweat on. I added a metro stop down here by the cruise line, and that seems to have had a pretty dramatic effect on reducing the number of people that are kind of getting stuck out here waiting for taxis, and a bus system that I also set up kind of through the tourism district. Good Lord, this is a lot of people. Wow, this is going a really long way to boost up my tourism. I think placing the harbor was absolutely the right decision. Well, this area is filling out pretty quickly, but let's go ahead and start expanding out some more of the tourism areas down over here, because what I'd like to do is start playing with some more unique buildings. Try to drum up a bit of tourism, especially if we're going to have a harbor right here. So let's see, we'll place probably something right like this. I guess we could use this four-way intersection, which I guess we'll do like so, and we'll try to work our way around kind of like this, just so I don't waste a whole lot of space. Yeah, I think that'll work fine. Let me go ahead and place down yet some more grids, and we'll try to expand Rowan's path out a little bit. There we go. Something like this seems reasonable. Now, I did place down another hospital over here because we were having some of this health issues, and I'm not sure what's going on right here. Is it pollution? Oh, we still have a recycling center right here. Oh, no wonder we're getting so much health problems. There's a lot of pollution going on. Okay, hang on. Get rid of this thing. How are we doing on garbage collection in general? We could use a little bit more. All right, good to know. This explains a little bit. Let's see. Can I place a collection facility anywhere else Maybe off in the distance over here would make some sense. Okay, we're going to go ahead and place a single road going off in this direction away from everybody else. And we'll place down another large recycling center. That should deal with our processing, and no more of this whole recycling centers in the middle of the people kind of a thing. I don't know what the heck I was thinking. Over here it's okay, because it's just office buildings. The rest of these are more or less out of the way. Do we have anything going on over here? Health seems a little low, but I don't see the problem. Okay. That at least is a little bit better. But yeah, let's not do that again. Now, as far as some unique buildings, what do we want to place? We could place down the Cathedral of Plentitude, which is very impressive and opulent, no doubt about it. Huh. I mean, I like the looks of it. The question is does it make the most sense to place over here? Maybe, maybe not. Can we fit it over here? Ooh, almost, actually. Huh. We do have the stadium already. That's not a big deal. We could go for an expo center. We could go for the science center. Top-notch scientists from all over the world work to find out more about the world we live in. That could be pretty fun. Who wants a science center? I do. Let's see. Place. You know, if we got rid of some of these roads down over here, maybe we could do some fun stuff. Let's go ahead and change this up like so. I want to make sure it stays relatively close to the coastline, because that's where I'm planning on continuing Rowan's path. So, let's suppose I did want the Cathedral of Plentitude. I could place it, like, right here. This big honkin' tower. There is the Science Center. What else might we want? Not the Opera House. We already have that. I don't care about getting Lungs of the City. Transport Tower. Oh, that seems kind of fun. What does it do? Requirement for building the space elevator, and that's about it. The Friendly Neighborhood Park. Sounds like the sort of place that Mr. Rogers would like to hang out in. Yes, we will place down a Friendly Neighborhood Park right there. Level 1, we already have everything. Okay, so let's take out the Science Center, definitely. And I'll place you, there we go, right here on the corner, like so. And then, do we want a stadium? No. Maybe the Cathedral of Plentitude, though. I don't know exactly what it does, but you have to admit, yep, that looks pretty cool. I hope we can get enough buildings to actually build around it to make it look good. Because right now it seems a little dorky, just sort of hanging out there in the middle of frickin' nowhere. Alright, yes, let's zone and expand the area. There we go. See, this place is already expanding out pretty nicely. Butler Square, it's called this time, which I kind of split a little bit down the middle with districts. We got a bit more of Rowan's Path for some of the tourism area. But then Butler Square back here, which is pretty standard. There's nothing really special about it, no self-sustaining, no nothing. I'm just going to let it build as normal. But there we go. Look at the IT buildings, already looking kind of awesome. And then I kind of created a little custom park down here with a parking garage and a botanical garden, just to kind of make a really picturesque square right here. And I'm hopeful that the Science Center, the new Pravsburg Science Center, and the Cathedral of Plentitude is going to really drum up the tourism business a bit over here, because this looks pretty awesome, in my not-so-humble opinion. Of course, if we are going to have some buildings this close to the highway, then we absolutely need to remember to go through and soundproof, so that's what we are going to do. What was that? Please tell me that was just thunder, not something exploding, because that sure as heck is what it sounded like. Alright, let's see. We will upgrade all of these with sound barriers. There we go. Because we can't control the passers-by and force them to have electrical cars. Or maybe we can, but I don't think that'd be very advisable. Anyway. Yep, this should do the job. I am noticing that the pollution seems to be getting kind of worse, not better exactly. I wonder if it's the, it says that it's clean, but does that look clean to you? I don't think so. I don't think so one wee little bit. Maybe we go ahead and just place out a couple more garbage collectors and stuff, just to see if we can clean the rest of this up. I know it's expensive, but I've got the money, so we might as well do it. I also apparently am running low on garbage processing still after all of this. Wow. Okay, what are we missing? We have something over here already. No, I don't know. I don't know why we're having so much trouble with recycling. Maybe we need to set something else up over here. We can probably do that. Actually, you know, one thing we could do is actually create a road that goes under the highway over here, just kind of join things up a little bit better. That might create some traffic problems, though. That said, there's no really easy way for anyone to get from this area of town over here shy of getting on the highway. Which I guess ultimately is still kind of what I want, but that might explain a little bit why we're having so much trouble getting employees down here. If they're not taking the metro, There's no really easy way to do this. Maybe it would be worth setting up some sort of road. We're going to try it. Hang on. Let's go ahead and grab, let's say, you. We're going to pull off of you. Go this way. Page down. And create ourselves a tunnel. Well, forgot. There's a train over here already. Aha! That would cause problems, wouldn't it? Maybe I can go around it this way. It's stupid, but it's just stupid enough it might work. We'll do... Oh, that's a train station. Well, I seem to have worked myself into a bit of a corner. Hang on. This is the weirdest... This is a terrible idea. What kind of freaking tunnel is this? No, never mind. We'll figure something else out. All right, there we go. See? Bridges also will work. Okay, so now we technically have another connection. I will have to monitor the traffic in this area, though, just to be safe. How are we looking down over here in Butler Square and so on? It's looking pretty shiny and awesome. Do you have a lot of hotels and stuff? Yeah, we do. Grand Hotel, the Night Inn. These are all still considered low density, even though I deliberately built them in high density areas. I find that kind of fascinating. Also, apparently, organic food development is an office building. That is one heck of a building right there. What is this? The not so evil cousin of Monsanto? I don't know what kind of joke I'm going with that. But anyway. Yeah, all right. So this place is developing very nicely. I'm quite happy with how this is turning out. I'm going to go ahead and turn off these ferry stops. They're doing absolutely nothing but draining funds. Clearly, I'm not sure what I'm doing with these things. But that's probably okay. I think we'll survive just fine without it. I'm just a little bit peeved that I can't figure it out. Oh no! What's happening with my water? What did someone do? Ah! We don't have nearly enough water availability all of a sudden. Easily fixed. We can just place a pumping station over here. Is that too close to this stuff? It says there's no water pollution. I don't know if I believe it, but you know what? Maybe these eco water treatment facilities are so darn clean you can drink your own treated pee. I'm not sure, but we're going to go ahead and place one and see if that solves our problems, and we'll just monitor it, because if our entire city gets sick and dies, I think we'll have solved the problem, or at least narrowed it down. Wow, this area built out actually remarkably quickly, and we already have more residential and commercial demand. This is going quite well. Maybe this is a benefit of having a bunch of unique buildings. I'm not too sure. Could place a stadium. Very noisy, but that would be pretty good. An expo center also would do something pretty similar. Aside from the lungs of the city, though, I mean, I guess we could place a transport tower, but I'm not really sure what purpose this serves, if any at all. Also, what's going on over here? Why are these guys so upset? Do you guys have no parks? It appears you have no parks. I am so sorry for that. Bit of an oversight on my part. I can fix that. Here you go. Have a park. See, I'm trying to be a little bit less grid-like with some of my patterns while still being as space-efficient as I can, but a little bit of curvature here and there and such, it doesn't seem all that bad. Doesn't seem all that bad at all. All right, let's go ahead and grab this entire area. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this road right here blank. That way I don't really generate any unnecessary traffic trying to join these areas up, although we probably could do a quick connection right over here like so. That might make things a little bit better. Yeah, no buildings along here should mean that no one has any incentive to park or travel this road for, well, really anything other than traveling between the areas of town. But there we go. Cherry Hills apparently is the next area. That's nice. Let's go ahead and throw in a bit more high-density residential. We actually will want to consider building a whole new suburb at some point because I think we've been doing a little bit too much high-density lately. And I like to mix things up a tiny little bit. Just a tiny little bit. And I don't think people would get too upset with me if I did do that. Let's go ahead and finish all this area up kind of like so. There we go. That should take advantage of a lot of my RCI demand. We will continue to expand the city around the bay. Wow, this place is starting to get a little bit massive, isn't it? Wow, we really are just taking it piece by piece, heading all the way over to the shore. I think over here is an area where I'd like to place an airport, if I can get myself up to 60,000. And as we continue to build out some more residential, we seem to be getting a bit closer to that. So next video, then, the goal will be to get to 60,000 so I can place an airport. And then maybe, just maybe, this place will become the thriving metropolis that I know it can be. Thank you all very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. If so, then be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I, as always, will see you guys next time.